So we'll begin. We'll take a seat that helps us feel tall, helps us feel upright. Hands can rest in a position, either palms up, palms down. You might have a way of stacking or arranging your hands or a mudra that you love. You can employ that. And we'll begin just foregrounding our breath, allowing it to become more evident to our senses, and you're welcome to close eyes. Feeling each breath, expanding the ribs. Lengthening through core. Softening through the shoulder girdle. And intentions are very powerful tools. So consider, what is the most valuable or highest outcome for you, for this practice you're engaging today? And if you generate a wordy answer to yourself, you just cut through to just a word or a few words. The intention does not serve as a mantra. It's not an empowered phrase that we repeat for a particular effect. But an intention can be like a calibrator, just helps us understand how our focus may bend or move. So what is the highest possible outcome? Maybe it's some understanding on some topic or some area. Deeper understanding. A deeper connection to an area of your body, an area of your community. Maybe it's to feel good. Maybe a highest outcome today is just to feel lighter, freer in the body. And once you come up with an intention, I find it's helpful to give myself permission for that to be reshaped a little bit. It doesn't mean I change intention necessarily, but I let it bend and mold, and I let that question be a changeable thing. work Kapalabhati first, and then in some moments from now, we'll work another pranayama. Okay. So Kapalabhati, as a reminder, welcome in, are those short, sharp exhalations. Aim for the tip of your nose, the third of your nostrils furthest away from your face. That's the exit path. And the engine below the navel, pubic bone area musculature as best as you can find it. Let's plan on about 60 pumps, 60. When you're ready, I'll start off a few, and then I'll bring the sound down so it's doesn't sound like a hurricane on your end. So Kapalabhati, here we go. After those 60 pumps, bring the soles of your feet together if they're not already. And pressing soles of feet together, inhale. We can spread the foot bones. Now move the hands in front of the shins so we're slightly folded, and let's exhale out the mouth. This is rather swift. It has a little bit of oomph to it. And remain empty, lowering the chin closer to the sternum. Now draw the belly back. So we're drawing from the perineum. There's a lot of pelvic floor musculature that gets involved here. The low belly, area around the pubic bones. And as you're drawing in and back and up, slide the shoulders away from the neck. Relaxing the belly when you need a breath. And the second round, we'll insert a hold. I'll talk us through the whole thing. Let's use our fingertips on the ground beside our hips. Feet active, and inhale. Keep gently sending the sit bones and the tailbone down into the ground. And here, pause, holding the breath, moving the skull over the pelvis. So you can lift, you can lengthen through the neck. So we lengthen through the neck, the chest lifts. Bring the hands forward, exhale everything out. Remain empty of breath, keep pressing feet together, draw belly back. Draw it in, back toward the spine, up, kind of toward the shoulder blade. And release. Resume your Ujjayi breath. So that full breath that expands ribs. And take one more moment here. Just reconnect, remember Reinstate for yourself. What is that highest possible outcome, a highest good that you hope to enact or experience through this practice? What you really want or really need with this practice today? Side bend. Place the right hand beside you on the ground. Inhale, draw the left arm up. Exhaling, reach to your right. Now that left sit bone, keep plugging it down into the earth. And while that left sit bone maintains contact with the earth, feel that left thigh bone kind of relaxing down as that hip crease kind of softens with each breath. Inhaling, bring this left hand all the way up and over. Place it on your left thigh. Do a little unlocking the hip. Inhaling, feel your breath reach this left side pelvis, left side waist. And timing it with each breath, as you exhale, apply a tiny amount of pressure. At least at first. So the pressure applied suggests a little more spaciousness in that left hip. And then as you breathe into your left hip, do you glimpse a sense of spaciousness? Does it feel like there's a bit of lightness, a bit of opening in there? And as you're sensing that left hip, breathing deeply, feel for relaxing through the jaw and the lips. Sometimes the eyes and the face area can get a little intense or a little twisted as we're accessing new areas of the hip. You might soften the brow, the lips. There you go. And we'll release carefully. Come upright. We'll do that side bend on the other side. Place your left hand to the ground. Inhale, right arm up. Exhaling, reaching to our left. Now I put that left hand directly to my side. If I put it behind me, then I tend to twist, and we'll have some other occasions to twist today, so there we go. Just want to get right into that lateral side of the trunk with the side bend. As we're reaching our breath in around that hip bone and waist area. Feel for relaxing in the right hip crease. And if you engage that release gesture, You'll feel the thigh get a little heavier. You might even feel the thigh kind of lower down a bit. And inhale, bring the right hand up and over. Place it on your right thigh. You can adjust your left hand here. This is, if it goes a little more behind you, that's fine. And then exhaling even more significantly. Relaxing, releasing in that hip crease area. Just finding out if it's possible to enact that gesture of release. Sometimes those release moments are a happy accident, but also an enactment. There's a part of that we participate in. And then we'll ease that right hand pressure off the thigh when you move upright. One more time. Connect to your Ujjayi breath. And just remembering, recalling, what is that highest possible outcome in my practice today? Now, how do you begin to enact that in your breath? How do you start to breathe that in and through your person? So again, there's a little bit of enactment. Meet it halfway. How do I breathe that? How do I start to see that? How do I start to release into that? How do I start to know that? Feel that? Okay. You may want to use your hands to help the legs together. And let's lie on back. We'll get into some elbow to knee. Have a roll nearby for later. And with our feet off the ground and our hands behind head, here we go. Inhale the head and the shoulder blades off the ground. A little abdominal pressure will help you feel that you're breathing into the low back. Curling tailbone. Exhale, the left leg out reaches, spreading the foot bones. And now draw low belly down. Inhale, bend left knee. Spreading breath into the low back, back bones, back of the hips, curl tailbone. Exhaling, right leg out reaches. Now the elbows, the upper body, can turn slightly toward that bent leg and can do so each time. Pull low belly down. Inhale, bend that right knee. We're back centrally. Curl tailbone, exhale, left leg out reaches. Yes, the elbows can turn slightly, reaching toward the right thigh. Draw low belly down. Inhale, bend left knee. curl the tailbone, that whole front line kind of zippers up, engages a tad. Exhale, right leg out reaches. Elbows, upper chest, turn slightly facing the left thigh. Pull low belly down. Inhale, bend right knee. Let's do 5 more on each side on our own. So working this intention today, an analogy that works for me is a little bit like threading a needle. Right, I've got this thread, this little flavor of a higher self, a more luminous, intelligent, patient, kind self, whatever that person looks like. And I start to thread it through every one of these cells, every one of these chakras. So with each breath, starting to thread that through your present day, right now body. Kind of weaving this notion of a best outcome into present time. We start to work with time in these ways. My sense is it benefits our perspective greatly. Being able to look ahead, gleaning a wiser self, and weaving that into our now life going forward is an incredibly agile move for our perspective. Now, when you grab the roll and you place it between legs, I'll be cueing us to engage some very specific buttock muscles, which you can access by just taking one of your hands and reaching down and finding your sit bone. That's the location of the sit bone muscles that I'll be referring to. It really is just about, you take a hand, reach down, find that bone in your butt, and we'll be contracting around that. So we'll start with the hands behind our head for support, the legs skyward. The roll is between legs. Inhale into low belly and low back. Let's spread those foot bones. Now squeeze the roll. Curl tailbone and exhale, float the head and the shoulder blades off the ground. If you reach with your left hand down, find that left butt cheek, the bone area, and just contract the muscles against the fingertip. As you're reaching up, pull low belly down. Good. Inhale, let that go, the butt squeeze, let the head go down, let some of the inner roll leg squeeze go. All right, squeeze the roll again, curl tailbone, exhale, float the head and the shoulder blades up. This time reach down with your right hand, find that right butt. And can you contract those glute muscles against your fingertips? As you keep reaching the legs up, pull low belly down. Inhale, set the head down. So you know where they are now. We're going to keep finding those each round. Squeeze the roll. Curl tailbone, exhale the head and the shoulder blades off the ground. Now it's perfectly fine to continue using the fingertips to locate one side at a time. Pull low belly down. Inhale, set the head down, relaxing the butt muscles, the inner leg squeeze. Pause. Engage the inner legs on that roll. Curl tailbone. Exhale, the head and the shoulder blades off the ground. So can you find those buttock muscles? Maybe the other side now. So engaging the butt as you reach the feet up. Pull low belly down. We'll do 2 more. Inhale, head down. Squeeze the thing. Exhale, curling tailbone, float the head, the shoulder blades up. If you're using your fingertips on your butt, get the butt to engage, but also reach up. So you're keeping the inner leg and the butt. There's a lot of butt intelligence here. Pull low belly down. Inhale, head to ground, relaxing all the various squeezes. Last one. Engage inner legs, squeeze roll. Curl tailbone, exhale the head, the shoulder blades off the ground. Pull low belly down. And inhale, place the head down. Exhaling, set the feet down. Let's remove that roll. Set it away from you. And as you connect to your Ujjayi breath, of threading that best possible outcome, breathing that into your right now body, into your abdominals while you have this lush and deep access into the belly, into the pelvis. Good. So let's turn onto a side and we set up for dolphin. We'll press to our elbows and our knees. We'll do 2 types of dolphin today. Hooray! So the first one will be brief. Notice the elbows are under shoulders and the forearms placed out in front. And curl the toes under, inhaling into the sides of the ribs, the low back, and with the head, the neck relaxed. Exhale the knees off the ground. Gently set the knees down, moving just our right arm for now. I'm going to draw the right palm back, placing it on the ground. We're setting up for flash prep. So my right palm is on the ground in front of my right knee. To be truthful, I have long limbs, so I've also put my right hand a little bit to the right. So you may have to micro adjust because we all have different anatomy. Right? But that our right elbow is off the ground at this point is what matters. Inhaling into the armpits. Now flex both chest area muscles on. So I squeeze both elbows inwardly. And then exhale, press the knees off the ground with the chest muscles engaged. Now when I get this, So Marissa, you might draw your right hand back. Yes. Yeah. So my right forearm, if it's vertical, that's a pretty good spot. Now I reach that right elbow toward the back of my mat. In that backward reach, you may feel that shoulder blade starting to slip around the rib cage. Tip a little more weight into your right hand, Michelle. Yes. So you have weight in both hands, have weight in both feet at this moment. So you can reach back through both sit bones, lifting, lengthening through your spine, getting lighter in the shoulders, and keep tipping to your right, Michelle. Yep. So you can use that that inner right foot is in use. Please gently set the knees down. We shall switch sides. So we've got the right forearm down, just as we would for dolphin. And we place the left hand somewhere around the left knee. Can you get both sets of chest muscles working? So you're flexing left and right of the sternum, right? Exhale the knees off the ground. Really push down through that left palm heel. Yeah, use that left palm heel. This is a major contributor in things like jumping into crow, pressing up into handstand. So you enacting that palm press right now is all preparatory. It'll all help other aspects of your practice. Yeah, and now gently set the knees down. Okay. There's one more item of delight. If you place both hands under your shoulders and then walk them forward about 3 more inches. We set up for turbo dog. So, elbows bend, chest muscles engage, and on your next exhale, without straightening the elbows, we'll press the knees off the ground. So with turbo dog, it's a little from column A, a little from column B. A lot of chest muscles, a lot of that wrapping the shoulder move, a lot of that palm pressure downward. Now connect to your deep breath. Even if the arms get a little kind of quivery, and might be a new move for all those tissues and muscles, connect to deep breath. And keep getting to those chest muscles, tweebs. So instead of letting the blades kind of squeeze together near the spine, and get the chest muscles. Yes. Inhale, step the right foot forward, warrior 2. And we'll bring the right palm in front of our navel for a little wrist awesomeness. So we'll lightly draw the pinky back, inhaling. Feet active. Exhaling, sink into that stance, glide the shoulder down, and melt the palm away from the navel. Let the pinky up, move to the next digit. Inhale. Exhaling, feel the shoulder relax. Feel that whole arm open up, palms spread, hand bones kind of move apart. Okay, we'll keep moving through. A few more breaths. Okay, I want to bring the palm maybe out a bit, because you might get that stretch, like up, yeah. And if your balance feels pretty good, you might even close your eyes. As we're taking something breath by breath, there's a little tendency to end up a bit outside of ourselves, like our attention kind of gets cast out in front of us. And closing our eyes can help us regather more and more centrally. Inhale, reach the arms out to the side for reverse warrior. Exhale, left hand to left leg, raise the right arm as you reach to your left. As I'm reaching, lifting trunk, lifting away from pelvis, even feeling that hip crease area softening, untethering, or decoupling. Inhale, take that right arm up and over, extended warrior. So I'll place this right hand on the ground. Occasionally, there's individuals for whom putting a hand down on the ground feels a bit compressive in the hip. If you experience pain, you can prop that hand up a bit. Otherwise, reach the left arm overhead. So take your arm, Michelle, toward me. Yes. So I'm reaching the left hand away from the left foot. Yes, yes, yes. And if you want, Connie, you can straighten that arm, even if the arm ends up in front of our trunk a little bit. There's something beneficial to straightening that elbow. We get into some other shoulder areas. And it may feel like the wrist and the elbow don't quite. Just spread those hand bones. Yes, that's it, Sarah. At the same time, sinking that left heel into the earth. Inhaling, left hand to the ground, and we set up for pigeon. Set left knee down. Walk the right foot to the left side of the mat. Lie shin down. Now, if you're just glad to get into pigeon, great. Work pigeon. I'll also suggest, if you have access to the sole of the foot, you can work twisting pigeon toward the foot. And toward that outcome, how do you breathe that into your body? How do you breathe that into your hip? Inhaling, let's unwind out of pigeon. Set both hands under your shoulders, exhaling, downward dog. Now, if you love it, I love it today, turbo dog. Inhale, step your left foot forward, warrior two, starting with the hand, the left hand. So we'll bring our left palm out in front of our navel. We'll start on the smallest digit. Inhale, lightly drawing it back. Exhaling, shoulder relaxes, palm spreads, melting forward, reaching out through every other digit. Let's just continue. Take one breath per digit. Go all the way through the hand. And a simple move like feeling a little sensation in the hands. Can I stay connected to my intention for the practice? For reverse warrior, when you're through, inhale, the arms out to the side. Exhaling, we'll go right hand to right leg. Raise left arm, reaching. Stay connected to your breath. You feel that breath through the whole left side, armpit, ribs, spreading it down into the waist, into the hip socket. So I don't collapse in that left hip. I'm pressing down through that left heel and midfoot. Lightening, feeling that left hip bone lighten away from that left thigh bone. Extended warrior. Inhale, take the left arm up and over. I'm going to place the left hand down. If there's no pain, we'll go all the way down to the ground. If you have some encumbrance and you need some elevation, left palm on block. Right arm, reach overhead away from right foot. And I continue pressing through that left heel, maintaining that lightness in the left hip. So can you enact that? How would you press into that front foot, left foot? Yes, that's it, Michelle. So that you maintain that buoyancy in the left hip socket. Pigeon. Inhale, let's bring the right hand down. Set the right knee down. And here we'll take the option of pigeon, just getting that left leg down and folding forward, or twisting pigeon toward the foot. And if you're working twisting pigeon toward the foot, you have to do that added move. Getting a right angle in the left knee. And then you can grab that foot. And as you connect to your intention, which you might be remembering using a word or two, remember the intention is not a concept, there's a visceral sense of that. So as you start to breathe, you're remembering, recreating, imagining, visioning that into feeling. And then one more step. You're breathing that, weaving that, threading that right into this pose. So if your highest possible outcome is your intention today is to more clearly understand some issue in your life. Breathe. Feel, how does understanding go in the body? Do I feel my heart? Does something happen in my eyes? Is there a more expansive breath? How does understanding feel? And start to weave that into this pose. You feel that breath seeping into every cell, every square inch of your person. The higher self takeover. Now inhaling, let's unwind slightly. We'll set the hands under the shoulders, exhaling into downward dog. Take your time stepping back. Sometimes doing this kind of deep hip work can feel a little bit unsteadying. Take lunge with the hands down. Inhale, step your right foot between your hands. Left knee and left heel remain up, off ground. It's almost look like a sprinter at the starting block here. So with the hands down, just for support, so the back can be uncompressed for some moments. Reach with your breath, with your inhale, into the low back, into the pelvis. Exhale, send that left heel back. Now as the heel reaches back, feel the knees straighten. And yes, if you're engaging some leg muscles to straighten the knee, that's it. As the knee straightens, send the whole left leg, the thigh bone back. As we keep finding these instances of opening and more space, there's one more place we can bring that breath, that intentional breath into our body. Now, set the left knee down as we move into lounge lunge. Left hand down, left knee down. The right arm is free to hug. So we turn. Now grab the ground with your right foot and send that big ball mount into the earth. So you're using your foot muscles, you're using those arch muscles to wrangle that right knee, that right leg toward your chest. I'm actually pulling the leg in using my foot muscles. Use those foot muscles. Inhaling, we unwind. Let's back the hips over the left knee. Always add padding if you feel your joints need it. Twisting lunge. Once we draw the left arm up, exhaling, we'll hook left arm over right thigh. Left over right. And twisting lunge, interlock. You slide that left armpit down even further, right on that thigh. Okay. Feeding that left hand under the right thigh. Right hand reaches behind back. If I can't grab the hands today, simply grab the waistband area clothing. Now, inhale the chest, the heart forward. So that's the head. For a lot of you, that was the head. The chest is right below the head. Inhale. So you're getting those upper ribs to kind of lengthen away from those mid ribs. I know it can feel kind of packed up around those shoulders, but we definitely need breath getting in and around those heart and shoulders. And if you're kind of dazing out, waiting for this to end, it's a little bit better to re-enter body. Feel where the breath goes and go a little bit more deeply. Sometimes in these deeper twists, there's a tendency for folks to kind of get a little daydreamy, like, I'll just wait till this passes. Now release, inhaling, unwind. Hands on ground, exhaling. We'll step back. I'm going to include a block down at the ankle side of my mat and lower down. It's optional, but I recommend. Because we're kind of getting a lot of things shifting and moving around the waist, so I like it. So the tops of the feet on the ground, squeeze inner ankles into the block toward each other. You're turning on the entire inner leg. Shifting tailbone down. Palms just slightly in front of shoulders. Inhale, belly into the ground. Palm press down, chest lifts. Now keep squeezing that block. Pull with the hands. Exhale, pull the chest away from the block, reaching the block away from the chest, lowering all the way down out of cobra. Inhale, hands under chest. Exhaling, downward dog. You can let go of the block. So we've got a lunge on the other side. Inhale, left foot forward. This lunge is knee up, heel up, but hands down. As the heel reaches back, you can engage those quadriceps, those leg muscles that straighten the knee. You may or may not get the knee to straighten, but you can certainly engage toward that end. And as the knee begins to straighten now, feel for reaching the thigh bone away from your head. May even start to soften or feel a little pathway opening up in that right hip. Now where these little spaces, these incremental moments of opening start to occur, what will you place in there? Because a space is not an inert thing. It's a living space. It's a patterned space, either patterned with our habits of consciousness, right? If I have a habit of going blank or spacing out, and I repeat that habit of consciousness, I get to ingrain that pattern. If I inject a slightly new sensitivity, I can start to loosen those patterns if I deem them worthy of change. Inhaling, place the right knee down, lounge lunge. So the right knee is down, the right hand is down, and the left arm hugs the left thigh. And I'll encourage you, those foot muscles, I grab the ground like I'm trying to pull and press the inner half of my foot into the earth. For those of you working with some sacral conditions, keep playing with the foot muscles. There's kind of these foot muscles that can grab and pull the earth, push and pull the earth. You can still do it with an active foot. It's not a tense foot, but it's an active in the sense of grabbing the ground. And you'll feel your knee move toward your chest a little bit. Yeah, and you have weight all the way in the heel. Is that true, Tweebs? You've got weight in that left heel. You're not all 4 foot heavy, okay. Bless you. There's grab that ground, Connie, with that foot, that left foot, grab it, and I'll reach back to that right foot. It's really active feet. Now inhaling as we unwind, there's a couple little twist moments. So we'll back our hips over our right knee. Add padding as you require. Drawing the right arm up. Exhaling, right elbow over left thigh. Habits of consciousness show up in our body. So not only is there evidence of them in our body, but we can use that evidence, those artifacts, to really create new patterns of new habits of consciousness. So if I really want to be more understanding or present or loving, compassionately present, I start to enact that. I breathe that. That starts to build a new habit of consciousness. So if I'm lured to kind of go a little unconscious, if I can catch it, congratulations, right? What a celebration, I've come back. Oh, I remember that I'm a living, conscious being. Now let's move into that twisting, lunge interlock. So on exhale, slide that right armpit down. Okay. Now if the shoulders say no interlock today, that's fine. There's all sorts of ways we can turn and work the hands, grasp. A habit of consciousness that is more complex and can handle more complexity feels like freedom. There's more opening. It feels more spacious. It feels freer. So we can just keep hunting out. Where's that next little flavor of space, something opening, that gesture of release. Now when we release our hands, inhaling, unwind, carefully, we'll set them down so that we may exhale and step left foot back. Remember, there's a block back there. And when we lower, we're working a boat variation. So squeeze the block with the inner feet, the inner ankles, and I'm grabbing the bottom of my butt with my fingertips, the sit bone area. Those are the muscles we were squeezing on earlier in those abdominals. Same ones. So get those buttock muscles working, the inner legs engaged. Inhale, belly into the earth. So you get that breath to kind of rise up under the low back. And as the chest lifts, exhale, pulling with the hands, lifts the chest, just the chest. Not cranking on my entire low back. It's just the chest articulates forward a little bit. Keep those legs squeezing that object. Inhale into the abdomen, into the back. Exhaling, press those feet, the block back. And as you pull with your fingertip, chest lengthens forward. Release. Inhale, hands under chest. Exhaling, downward dog. You can let the block go. Inhaling, let's step our right foot forward, take a casual stance so that we can grab our strap and set some things up. So a casual stand. And if you have a strap today, you probably want to undo it so you have one length. It's been a while since Tortoise. Now, I'm tying my strap in the back. It's like the first half of a shoelace tie. Just a little simple little tie. And just as a reminder, so if you need to see this first before you do it, I squat greatly. The squat lets me get my elbows way far away from my thighs. And I reach under. So my right arm is contacting my right leg. My left arm is contacting my left leg. Once I've grasped the straps, pull the shoulders down. Now, while I maintain shoulders drawn down, I dose in a little bit of leg strength. The kind of leg strength that starts to straighten the knees. And we're going to work this for approximately 8 breaths. I'm going to watch us get in. Just sometimes the arms get a little bit switched around. So if you got a strap, take a wide stance and crouch mightily. Make sure your left arm snuggles up against your left thigh and your right arm snuggles up against your right thigh. Good. Now reach up like you want to pickpocket yourself. Your back pocket, Marissa. So you're going to pickpocket your back pockets. Yes. And grab the straps there. So you grab by your back pockets. Because when we don't need the strap anymore, we'll connect hand to hand. That's one day. All things in time. Now, send those shoulders away from the neck. Yes, inside legs. So I've got my right arm inside. Reach up, back pocket, strap grab. And then, yes, get feet really active. Okay. Now I actively pull the shoulders away from the neck. Yes, that's it. You'll feel your chest moving, lengthening away from the pelvis. That is desirable. That is protective. Now, you don't have to go far. You can remain in crouch, arms active, 8 breaths. But let's build some endurance. You can go as mildly as you need to, but let's go for 8 breaths. Breathing into the back of the heart patiently, patiently. Now, when you take your first break from Tortoise, release, bend knees, exit gently. Just so you know, there will be 2 rounds. And you know why, right? Okay. Usually that first round is a little squirrely and we get a little impatient or fussy. And so now that we know, all the fusses and fidgets are worked out by way of that first round. We're going to do round 2. So this is not a deep fold for some of you. Maintain the crouch and work the arms strongly. Okay. Now some of you have a little bit of extra care that you give your low back. This need not strain the low back. Okay. If you have any question or concern about that, just let me know right now. I can talk through some more details. Okay. Is this okay on the back, Joy? Do you need a little something else? Oh, the knee? Unmute if you want to say something to me. If you want me to know something.
Just a lot of pressure on my
Left knee. Do you feel like you're using the inner parts of your foot muscles?
Well, I also have sacral issues, so
Yeah.
the 2 going on
Okay.
just seem to.
Let me show you this one too. If I take that same stance and I just link my left arm around my left leg and I connect my hands or strap, my right arm just passed behind my back, and there I straighten or semi-straighten both legs. That might be a much less pressure on the knees. You might try that. Okay. And so my rib, if I'm interlocking around my left leg, that means my ribs are against my left thigh and I'm kind of turning. So try that version out and hopefully that keeps us out of the out of pain. Okay, and just continue until you're finishing your second round Tortoise. When you're through, if you're through, let's just maintain a stance that's wider than our shoulders, and we'll work a little neck release from here. So what that means is I allow my head to hang down. You can interlace your hands with the pinkies butting up against the base of the skull. Then squeeze the forearms around your cheekbone area. And ease the weight of the arms down. So now it's a gravity-led traction. So I'm kind of clamping my arm weight onto my head to provide neck traction. Breathing into those neck bones and skull bones. I'm just learning if I can enact any gesture of release through the neck, those joints, skull joints. And when you need to exit, remove the clamp of the arms, the weight of the arms, and letting the head and the neck hang down. Place your hands down, heel toe your feet together. Now, if you have some back tenderness, it might be beneficial to bend the knees until your trunk is literally on your thighs. And then using your hands, kind of push, unfurling the spine, just exiting in a really patient way. You can untangle your strap parts and let's have a seat. Have a seat in shoelace. Let's go right on top of left. Inhale, reach arms out to the side for eagle. Exhaling, hook left elbow over right. And as if breathing in and through the back side of your body, the back of your head, the back of your neck, breathing in and through the back of your heart, the back of your solar plexus, the back of your pelvis. Is there any new freedom? Lightness, space. Fold forward. The elbows might end up on the calf or shin or just beyond, just to the front. Breathing into the back side, back of brain, back of neck. Inhale, come upright. We'll unwind out of the fold. We'll unwind our arms, our legs, and we'll switch sides. In many of the energetic traditions and Eastern traditions, it's cited that the back of the body contains our habits of consciousness that we have and that we take toward ourself. So in their eyes, the back of the body reflects how we reflect to ourselves. So when we exhale, when we move into eagle, we'll go right over left. And so these final moments, what does that feel like breathing into the back of the body? If you like the addition of fold, come on in. If you don't like that on your low back today, remaining upright is a fine substitute. Enacting that gesture of release when possible. Letting the head hang heavily down. Feeling that thigh bone relax down. All right, let's unwind, inhaling. You can undo the arms. You can press yourself upright. Let's do all the unwinds and set up for Shavasana. Add any layers that you need. And that best possible outcome. Perhaps it contains some qualities you hope to embody more steadily or more fully, more frequently. Start to breathe that thread in and through your core. In and through all your interconnective tissues, the connective tissues, the networks. It's almost like a spider, kind of cobwebbing these threads of breath through your connective tissue, through your bloodstream, and capillaries and veins. Kind of grafting in these qualities of spirit, letting them take root, take up residence. When you're ready, bend knees.